is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
Oh, there's so much going on. Welcome back to Ted Nugent, Real America's Voice, Spirit, Campfire. And my dogs are absolutely schnookered. We went chucker hunting. Thank you, Ed Smalley. And thank you, Ron and Lynn Sweet down at the Ringneck Ranch. We're going to get some pheasants to make the dogs happy because my pucker brush habitat. Do you have pucker brush habitat? Habitat's no good unless it includes maximum acreage of pucker brush so that the game birds, the mourning dove, the sandhill crane, the ringneck pheasant, the bobwhite quail, and the chucker have a place, and the squirrels and the rabbits, they have a place to hide from the protected birds of prey. Are they protected? They don't look protected. But anyhow, I'm having the time of my life, and the reason my dogs are insane energized. Even old Sadie, 10 years old, go to getuncleteds.com. It is the best, the only really natural, organic, healthy dog supplement available that Shemaine and I went after because we want our dogs to live long, healthy, and happy. And those dog lovers amongst us know that nothing is more fulfilling, gratifying, and enriching in the quality of our lives than dogs that are healthy and happy. My sister Kathy, she's got all kinds of dogs. Dog mania. Kathy, I love you. I love people with dogs. Linda's got a dog. Mal, Rocco and Belle got a dog. Everybody's got a dog. And they're using getuncleteds.com. And within days, they see that they're more spunky, more energized. And it's all about a conscientious drive and dedication to making our dogs healthy. And everybody loves my dogs. I mean, I did a Facebook Live the other day and showing Coco and Sadie and Jackson. We miss Happy. Happy's gone, but he's hunting with me every day. And my shotgun, I'm using the Mojo choke. I got the Mojo mid-range choke. Thank you, Terry Denman. Mojo Outdoors. Great bunch of guys. I got such a great bunch of guys. Ted Nugent, Spirit of the Wild TV. 35 years, #1 award-winning, #1 conservation celebration promotion show in the world on the Pursuit Channel. 8 times a week, Ted Nugent, Spirit of the Wild, with Shemaine's Queen of the Forest, which, by the way, while I was getting ready for this segment, John Rich, the great John Rich, I'm not jealous of anybody. Well, I'm jealous of people who can shoot a recurve or a longbow perfect. Those guys have a gift. Now, I can shoot one good, but I'm shooting a Mathews bow. And the mystical flight of the arrow turns me on. And thanks to Tim Gillingham, world champion, and Levi Morgan, I'm shooting the Schwacker broadhead, and I'm shooting Pigman. Pigman Quacka's got a new broadhead called the Demon Hunter. Awesome broadhead. But Levi Morgan has a broadhead called the Schwacker, and I killed 4 deer with the same arrow and same broadhead with a Luminoc. The Luminoc lights up so you can enhance and maximize the celebration of the mystical flight of the arrow, where the whole world vanishes and it's the path of your arrow/life. But anyhow, thanks to the good people at Carter Releases. Now, the Chinese used an ivory thumb release instead of pulling the bow back with their fingers, which I still do with my bare recurves. But they used a release so that the smooth ivory would allow the string, I think they held it like this, and they put the ivory, maybe a tooth or something, against the string so that the arrow would leave perfectly straight from the force of the propellant of the limbs flexing to create cast. Now the archer's out there going, hey, he knows what he's talking about. Everybody else going, what is that? So anyhow, the people at Carter Releases, they make these unbelievable, the technology is practice with your fingers. You might want to use a glove, like on my bare recurve over here, I got a glove, because the human finger does not unleash the string as smoothly as a smooth, worn out piece of leather, or ultimately a release. I use a trigger release. I use this old Bill Scott. This goes on there. This is the one I've been using a lot lately. And you squeeze the trigger. Ooh, trigger time. I have too much trigger time, nobody ever said. So this facilitates a flawless release of the string to propel the arrow to create stabilized cast. How am I doing, Randy Ulmer? How am I doing, Tim Gillingham? But Tim turned me on to with this chocolate release from Carter Releases. And I know I got the arrow knocked wrong, but I can just index it thusly. I got feathers on this one. Barack. I don't need the best of Richard Pryor. You know, this is the real America's voice. But I can't even tell you the name of my favorite album ever. My favorite album by Richard Pryor, that's crazy. So I can't say, they got a beep. Richard Pryor wrote it. He's a black guy. So anyhow, I mentioned that I belch bad people's names, which is funny. It's like Sam Kinison meets Robin Williams meets Rodney Dangerfield meets Richard Pryor. I'm like a cocktail of the funniest people in the world. Jim Brewer, funny. Jim Brewer, love this guy. Jeff Foxworthy, you gotta have humor. That's one of the reasons you love me. Not only the soundtrack to your most motivational moments in life, especially when it comes to sensual stimuli, the sexuality of my music. It's outrageous. But anyhow, thank you everybody at Carter Releases. Who are these guys? So Tim Gillingham, world champion archer, along with Levi Morgan, Davey Huber, and Jerry at Carter Releases. They sent me this to try, and all I can tell you is that when I come to full draw with my Mathews, I settle in, aim small, and I just touch that, barely touch that, and it allows a perfect release of the arrow. So if you're not shooting a bow and arrow, big mistake. Get a bow and arrow that is lightweight and graceful. Stand close to your target and discover what Mr. Left-Hand or whatever you're right-handed, like Fred Bear was right-handed, but he started shooting left-handed because he was freezing, having target panic. Well, that's a whole other subject. But anyway, let me tell you what happened the other day. So I'm in the tree stand. It's okay, Jackson. I wasn't whistling. Jackson thought I was whistling. And I got done with 7 nights of flame-throwing, over-the-top dangerous, thanks to the nebulizer. Jason Hartless and his beautiful wife, Lexi, recommended the nebulizer where it makes this mist, medicinal mist that I coat my throat with. I never ran out of steam. I screamed like a caterwauler, Little Richard, rabid Wolverine with my balls in a conibear. I'm the best screamer out there. Come on. Little Richard, James Brown, Ted Nugent. I think on Scream Dream and in the middle of Wango Tango and Wang Dang Sweet Poontang, and when I play Gonzo and Baby Please Don't Go, and at the end of the verses I scream. There's no better scream. Come, let's just admit it. I'm not bragging, but I have recordings. I'm the best screamer. And my voice was awesome. It was rich and powerful. Then Lexi got up on stage in Detroit and sang just what the doctor ordered. Lexi, you did great. We recorded. We've got it on record. So my point is that after 7 nights of incredible, energy-draining, abusive, gonzo work ethic, dedication to the best concerts of my life, I got my Mathews. I snuggled the dogs. Priorities. Think, man, think. I climbed a tree at Sunrise Acres. I knocked an arrow on my Mathews bow. I took deep breaths, and I absorbed the spirit of the wild. And a sandhill crane, actually 2 sandhill cranes, I'd have shot them if they got close. I didn't bring the 22 with me. I am from now on. I love it. Beautiful soundtrack. Then I heard all these birds. We had cedar waxwings, which have kind of a whistle, and cardinals with their chirping, and nuthatches. And I had a pileated woodpecker. and I identified the juncos and the house wrens, and there was some actual hummingbirds, like big bumblebees. And then I looked off in the woods, and rubbing on a scrape that I created with signal11lures.com. We're going to put that on the screen. Signal11lures.com. I had treated a hanging vine with Signal 11 lures, and here's this big-ass buck rubbing his preorbital scent glands around his eyeballs and around his nose and licking that branch and rubbing his antlers. And he had a hard horn. You're going to see it on Spirit of the Wild TV. And I had to tell myself, breathe. Would you please just, Ted, it's just a deer. We've done this before. You might want to just breathe. Hey, Ted, exhale, motherfucker, would you please? Long story short, after about a half an hour, that buck moved into some whitetail products gone wild. I had put out a bunch of this, and they come and eat this incredible fresh green and whitetail products gone wild. Nugent KillMix. That buck came in and like out of body, when he put his leg forward, broadsided about 30 yards, I come back, I said a prayer for the wild things. God, direct my arrow for a quick, clean, conscientious, reasoning predator kill. Thump. Schwacker broadhead right in the crease, disconnected the pump station. Dead right there, 50 yards. Huge buck. So throughout this segment, Shahu and Ryan and Parker and everybody are going to be inserting when I talk about the gigs. I sent them a bunch of great pictures from the gigs. You'll show those pictures. I sent you the pictures of the beautiful deer. You'll show those pictures. And I'll be back in a minute with John Rich. He's a great American.
And I start singing along to that line in the song, Sweet Home